Spurgeon here with Revzilla, and in this video we're going to walk you through the 6D ATS-1R helmet available at Revzilla.com. So that's a lot of numbers and letters thrown together. 6D is the manufacturer of the helmet. They have got one street helmet, and that is the ATS-1R that you're seeing on the table in front of me. This is an update over the outgoing ATS-1. And really the too long did not read of the video. They have reduced the price by around $55, and they have improved the helmet so you're getting more for less. So what we're gonna do in the video is we're gonna walk you through the main changes that they have addressed with this. We'll pull up the old helmet, we'll show them side by side. And again, the price for this is now coming in around the $695 mark, so it is about $55 less than the outgoing ATS-1. So what are you getting for around the $700 mark? You're getting a 3K carbon helmet, two shell sizes, and the shell breakdown is going to range between extra small and medium, and then large up to 2 extra large. You're looking at a DOT ECE rated helmet, and it's about 4 ounces lighter than the outgoing one. 3 pounds, 10 ounces when we threw this on the scale. In a large intermediate oval head shape means that it's a little bit longer front to back, slightly narrowed on the side of the head, and that is going to work for the majority of your riders out there in the American market. Now, when we talk about the price coming in around that $700 mark, just keep in mind, Revzilla does have the price match guarantee, so you are guaranteed to get the lowest price on this helmet or any other helmet that you're looking at on the site. So the main changes that you're going to see, first and foremost, it is going to have a slightly redesigned shell size. Now, a lot of the complaints with the old one, and we're going to go ahead and we'll just pull this up right now. The old one got very narrow when you looked at it towards the chin bar. So getting the helmet on and off was a bit problematic. Now, if we compare this side to side with the new one, what you'll notice is that they've actually widened that up. So it's much wider around the chin bar when you're trying to get this on, roughly about 1 inch wider, easier to get the helmet on and off. That's the first thing you'll notice as you pull this out of the box. If you're comparing it maybe to an outgoing ATS that you have already, in your collection that you're riding with, much easier to get the helmet on and off. So that's the first main change that we're going to see. The rest of the helmet looks fairly identical. You're not going to notice too many changes. The other change that you will see, or be able to feel rather, is the face shield. With the old face shield, the detents really didn't hold the helmet into place, or the face shield into place rather, in any main position. If you tried to open it up or ride with it kind of just half open, it would almost blow shut on you. The new one, while it is still the same face shield, has a much firmer detent. So you'll feel that it really grabs. So if you want to ride this in the city position with a little bit of a crack, or if you want to ride it in the full open position, it really does do a good job of staying into place. And if you pick one of those middle positions, it will stay in place as well. So they have improved the detents. You'll also notice the new one comes with a smoke shield in the box, it comes with a clear shield, and it comes with a Pinlock insert. The outgoing helmet only came with a clear shield and a Pinlock insert, so you're getting a second face shield included. So again, reduction in price, but slight improvement with the basic features. Now, I say basic features because the actual ODS system is the real shift and change here. So when we're talking about 6D, 6D has been known for their omni-directional suspension system. And we have a cutaway. This is a cutaway of the new helmet. This is what 6D is known for. So it's low speed rotational impact protection, as well as high speed dual density EPS liner, working hand in hand to make sure that you have the ultimate in protection. So I actually did a recent article on rotational impact, and one of the comments came through where they're like, oh, well, why aren't there any helmets out there that protect rotational impact for the street? Well, there are. There's been a lot of MIPS technology with Bell helmets, but 6D has really been leading the way in a completely different way of thinking about slip plane technology. And they actually have these little rubberized towers that sits in between the 2 different levels of the EPS liner. Now, what's been changed? You're going to have fewer isolation dampers, and that's these long, tall rubber pieces. They've been reduced in the amount that they're used, and they now sit more towards the top of the crown of the head. And what you'll see is you still get this slip on the inside, and you can really see it work with the cutaway on this. So if you do go down, the inside of the EPS moves separately from the outside of the EPS to absorb rotational impact. You're then going to see they've increased the dampening towers, and the damping towers are actually the softer part of the EPS, and those are all those little raised pieces in the inner part of the EPS. So when we're talking about the EPS, heavier density EPS on the outside for high speed impact, softer density EPS on the inner liner for lower speed impact, and then you have these isolation dampers, which allows for rotational impact. And this is the technology. They've reduced the amount of dampers. They're still getting the same, if not better, results out of this. And then they were able to cut the weight. So that's been the biggest actual functional change that we're seeing over the outgoing ATS-1 with the R. That whole system has been updated. The rest of the helmet is going to stay relatively the same. There's not been any improvements as far as the ventilation goes. You know, the ventilation works well enough. It's not the best venting helmet that I've seen, you know, on the market at this price point, and it's certainly not the worst. The overall shape has stayed the same. The locking mechanism on the side has stayed the same. You can push it down, which cracks the visor for a city view, and then you can pull it up, which actually locks it into position. So that operates exactly the same. The overall shell shape has stayed the same. You know, we talked earlier about the way that they've redesigned the shell from the fitment standpoint. But then when we take a look at the inside as well, there's nothing changed as far as the internals. You do get a chin curtain, you get the emergency quick release cheek pads, which pull right out. I would say that the cheek pads on this, they're comfort lined, they're sweat wicking, and they contour to the face. Again, same thing that we've really seen in the past. The one thing that I would note for 6D is they don't have an entry-level helmet. This is pretty much their only straight helmet, so it comes in around the $695 mark. Let's round it up and call it $700. I would love to see them incorporate a mid-level helmet. Give me something around the $450 mark that still utilizes the ODS technology. Maybe you don't have the 3K carbon shell, but you can get that omni-directional technology incorporated in something at a slightly more affordable price point. That's the next step that I would like to see from 6D. You can see as we take a look at the channeled cutouts in there for the ventilation. Again, vents cut into the EPS, run from the top to the bottom. There's nothing really, you know, exceptional there. You are going to have speaker cutouts on the inside as well. So if you want to add a comm system to this, you can easily do that. But the biggest changes that we've seen are, again, going to be the fact that you have this new wider opening to the helmet. You're going to have two face shields included, the dark smoke, the clear, as well as the Pinlock insert. And then the ODS system has changed. And the ODS system really has been the biggest step forward as far as the evolution with this helmet, and they've reduced the price. If I'd like to see them do anything in the future, it's just get the overall size of the helmet down. You know, the 6D helmets, because you do have this system incorporated there, tend to look and actually are a little bit larger than some of the competitors. And that's just because of the way the technology works. So if I had to really make a wish list for things that I'd like to see 6D incorporate into the future, would be, you know, give me a mid-level helmet that incorporates the technology, and then maybe if we could figure out a way to reduce the size a little bit. But as far as those of you out there that are already using the 6D, you've had some complaints about the first generation, they've really offered you some really solid improvements that you've asked for, and they've reduced the price. So I think it's a really great step forward for them, and it's really interesting to see them continue the evolution in this technology. Now, if you want to hear more about 6D helmets and what other riders have to say, you can always click the info button on your desktop or mobile device. You can read other rider reviews from folks that are already out there putting these helmets through the paces. And as always, you can reach out to one of our Gear Geeks at 877-792-9455, or simply shoot an email over to cs@revzilla.com. And you can talk to one of our Gear Geeks. They'll walk you through all the different helmets available and make sure that they help you to find the helmet that's right for you and your ride. I want to thank you for joining us for this look at this 6D ATS-1R helmet. I'm Spurge. Enjoy the ride.